joy they're bringing in this charming, lovely place of mine.
All right, come on in, hit the like button, think about subscribing if you've not already. Woof. Welcome to the channel. Love you all. Thanks for the love and support. If you have not subscribed, please do think about it. If not, thank you for checking out my channel. So this is where I put my honest review, honest thoughts, and this one is the review for the 2025 horror series called Alien Earth Season 1 for now. Here's a plot. When a mysterious space vessel crash lands on Earth, Wendy and a ragtag group of tactical soldiers make a fateful discovery that puts them face to face with the planet's greatest threat. Now, here are some of the casts. Alright, so I'm having a bit of an issue shooting this, and I've been having this kind of a tough couple of weeks, especially this week. Allergy issues, there's smoke, whatever, blah, 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 stuff you don't care about. But I watched 4 episodes of this, and one per week, and then I stopped for a while, and then, well, actually I watched 3, and then I watched the rest the past couple days, and the last one came out, episode 8 came out, my brain, last night on Tuesday. So this is my honest review for it, and it could be weathered it down to maybe how I was feeling during it, or if it's that and the fact that it's going, you know, 1 episode per week. But this is my honest thoughts on it. So from what I heard, this is not canon to the Alien films. After watching this and looking a little into the information, this to me, that is true. As that being said, this series was very interesting to watch, super unsettling score, and definitely the sounds gave it the hair-raising creep factor. I would argue way more deeply than the films. Even the first one, second one, you know, those were scary, but they didn't have this where they more relayed on to the score and stuff, how unsettling it was. Especially if you have headphones on. The story felt new and fresh, which I personally appreciate a lot. All while they kept the look of the sets and lighting similar to the films. All while diving deeper into certain aspects from the film franchise. Even though, again, not being canon. Such as they gave us a face to and look into the company Yutani and other companies as well, diving into the alien language, communicating with them, and diving into the possibilities of their intelligence. And other technical aspects of it, cyborgs and stuff. This was more around world building around humans, cyborgs, humans, greed, and again, which the first ones were, I mean the other ones were always about greed, let's be real. And expanding on lore, on stuff we haven't gotten much from the films. But it definitely had plenty of horror, drama, and violence and gore to it. In which is great, but this series does have issues with it in my opinion. Such as the endless amount of characters, including side characters, in the first couple episodes made it feel cluttered, but does smooth out somewhat as it goes on. The story did get a little dull at one point, like 2 episodes or 3 in the middle, but unfortunately by the last 2 to 3 of the end of the 8 episode weekly release season, that's when it started to really pick up for me personally, the last 2 to 3 episodes. The first 2 episodes were interesting. They were good. Granted, there was some really comical, unexpected spot that I don't know if I'm really a fan of in the second episode. But it was really cool. Now, the main thing that bothered me with this series has to be the xenomorphs. At one point, the way it moved was way too human-like. Then later on in the series, the costume looking kind of jarring in the daytime. Like it looked way too practical. And I knocked that up to it being in the very light daylight. That's how I think it, because I think it can look practical, and they definitely did slime and stuff with it. But the issue is how the lighting kind of reflected off of it. It gives it that illusion that it's or what it is actually a very expensive prop suit with a prop head, which I do appreciate when they do those. But it's just like in editing, they gotta do a better job of that. But overall, I enjoyed it to a degree. Certain episodes way more than others, but still a lot of issues in my opinion. Here's my rating, and I'll come up with my final thoughts. So despite having these issues, I do really think it's a good source of lore and a good sense of entertainment piece. It was an okay series by the end. That is my personal opinion of it. But I am hoping we get another season. They amp up the quality of it, like we got with Romos, with Prey. Because I'm saying that because those are both properties owned under Disney, and Disney owns them. And I hope that not only we get a second season, because again, despite its issues, I did have a lot of stuff about it I liked. Almost as much as stuff that I had an issue with, that level. But I do hope we get another season. They expand on stuff, but most importantly, if they do that, they up the ante of the budget. Maybe focus more on the budget onto the editing and stuff, and story wise. I definitely did like Wednesday. I definitely, well, not Wednesday, Wendy's. And there's like couple other characters that I really, really liked. But there was way more characters that I just found annoying. It is what it is. This is all, again, my opinion, but always leave your thoughts down below in a respectful way. I'm very curious, because from what I could gather briefly is looking on the internet when I was looking at stuff, without trying to spoil stuff, which is hard. It seems like a lot of people are torn on it, and I understand that, because it's a series, they're going to do a different old thing. It's just a whole different type of platform of how they do stuff. Am I a little bit disappointed? Yeah, to a point. I think it's a good start for a first season. If it continues like this level of questionable stuff in it on the quality of the story and mostly the product effects and the editing stuff within the second season, I think then I'll say that I'm done with the series. But I'm gonna keep up hope that they take a lesson from this and they go fix all that stuff in the future seasons. But I'm also, just in general, the story is very curious. It's very fascinating. Again, they dive into stuff that is kind of like mentioned or briefly mentioned in all the movies, like Yutani. That one's like in every film. So I just hope we get more. And I also want the more origins backstory of Yutani. They gave the face, they gave a little bit of an actual place, and the whole world building they need to go. They need to expand on. There's like a lot with this, and I think that's what the director / creator was going for when he made this not canon, because he even said it was canon, and that he said he wanted to give it more of an options of place to go outside, which you can't necessarily do technically with the films. But anyways, I just realized I've gone way too far. But remember, I love you all. Please stay safe. Spread love, most importantly. Skål!